This is a continuation of part 1, Intermediate Symbolism, and we're going to look at the Eye of Horus, also known as the Eye of Lucifer. We begin again with the most famous Satanist on the planet. He's now dead. This is Aleister Crowley, and we see that he has a triangle with an eye in it. And this is the Egyptian style eye, as you can see here. It has illumination around it. This is the Eye of Horus, and so this is a Satanist wearing the Eye of Horus. This is a closer image of that. We can now look at the Great Seal of the United States. This is the reverse of the seal. We see this eye with the illumination around it. We see an Egyptian Babylonian pyramid. This is very identifiable as an Egyptian pyramid. Annuit coeptus. Our undertaking has been approved, or our undertaking has been crowned with success. Novus Ordo Seclorum. New order, secular, is where we get seclorum of the world, or new world order. So their undertaking has been approved, and the undertaking is the New World Order, and we can see that the New World Order is an Egyptian Babylonian world order. Therefore, this eye has been disguised to look like a regular eye, when in fact it is the Eye of Horus, the Egyptian eye. We can make that logical conclusion. In the occult, Egypt is revered, and we can see the Great Pyramid is also uncapped. Another thing to note is that in the Bible, Egypt is quintessentially a place of bondage, and so the story of Moses and him bringing out the Hebrews out of Egypt. This is a great story in the Bible, and the Bible, God says, "I brought you out of Egypt," and therefore Egypt is representation of bondage. We can see here this child's toy has the correct interpretation of the eye on top of the pyramid and the Egyptian style eye. You can see here the eye in the triangle. Aleister Crowley has written, or in the interpretation of it, the eye in the triangle as well. Again, you can see the Egyptian pyramid. You can see the reverence for science. I know it sounds like a good thing, but I'll tell you what, their science is in a different category. But scientists revere, many scientists are into the occult, and you'll see that a little bit later. This is not the Illuminati logo, but somebody on the internet has made this, and I thought it appropriate just to understand that they've put the Egyptian style eye there. Now, going on to the entire seal itself. This is the front side of the seal. This is the back side of this is the back side of the seal here. And this seal was put on by Freemasons. And FDR was responsible for this. 1933, he began, or they legislated this to put the seal on the dollar bill. In 1935, I believe, around there, it first appeared on the dollar bill. He is a Shriner Freemason. You can see now the Shriners wear this Islamic fez. It is an Islamic style hat. You can see now this Shriner also, Shriner to Shriner, or Freemason to Freemason, has a distinct handshake. We'll see that a little bit later. You can see that the knuckle is pressed against, or the thumb is pressed against the knuckle, or the knuckle area, and there's different knuckles depending on different degrees. You can see here this Shriner Freemason has the word Islam here, and you can see the Islamic connotation and symbols of that. Even the Islamic sword, crescent moon, and star, you see that in Islam. This particular hat that FDR is wearing, I believe it says Alma, but some say Allah. There's all references to Islam. Now, the front of the dollar bill was placed by Freemasons, and so there's the number 13. Now, with the exoteric meaning, the outside meaning is that the 13 colonies were founding this nation. I believe it's not a coincidence that we had 13 colonies that founded this nation, but we have 13 leaves, 13 berries, 13 arrows, 13 stripes, 13 letters in E pluribus unum, 13 stars up above. Normally, the number 13 is an unlucky number, and in fact, in the Bible, it is a number of rebellion. So Revelation 13 is about rebellion, and in Genesis 14, we have 12 years they served, and the 13th they rebelled. So I'm giving this reference to 13 being a number of rebellion. As an architect, we don't even put the 13th floor in a building because it has such a negative connotation. Now, this is the New Age magazine, which is the Freemasonic magazine. It's since been changed to the Scottish Rite magazine. The New Age movement is a direct result of Freemasonry through Theosophy. Theosophy is Luciferian doctrine, so we can understand that the mysteries or the mystery religions, Luciferianism, is the New Age movement. And so you have here the New Age magazine. This is April 1960, and you can see the Masonic symbols on the dollar bill and the reference all to 13s. Just to prove to you that 13 is a number of rebellion, if you look at the Hunger Games, this movie, the 12th district is the one that competed, which they followed the competitors in that movie. But remember, the 13th district was the one that rebelled. And so these writers, everyone in the industry, they know what this represents. And so please bear with me and understand that things are owned and operated by this religion, and they know exactly what they're doing when they write things. So you have this occult symbolism on the back of the dollar bill, literally satanic symbolism, and I'll show you the reference to between Horus and Lucifer, that they are synonymous. Okay, here we have the Freemasonic logo and emblem. This is the square. I'm sorry, here's the square. This is the compass. Now remember some of this symbology, but we see the eye with the illumination around it. This is the eye in the triangle. These symbols are the same. And we, as the outsiders, get the exoteric meaning, which is the eye of providence, where they get the esoteric meaning, which is the true meaning, which is the eye of Horus or the eye of Lucifer. And I'll show you that synonym and that connection in the later part of this plate. But looking at this also, I just wanted to make you aware that this compass represents the male aspect above, and this square represents the female aspect below. So heaven and earth, male and female, and so we have the pointing up and pointing down. Also, you see the brotherhood handshake. That's not the actual handshake. It's just been disguised. And you do see this G. We'll see that later. That's the generative principle, which really is this sexual union between male and female. So we have that illumination, and you can see the similarity of the illumination on all of these examples. We have here Freemasonic references. Now they are claiming not only that seal, but they're claiming the pyramid and the use of that pyramid with their square and compass. Here are Freemasons with the pyramid, and you can see the eye and the triangle at the top. This is the Holy Books of Thelema, which is Hermeticism. And this is Aleister Crowley, and so he was into Egypt. Of course, they revere Egypt. You can see the Egyptian eye in the triangle. This is Ordo Luciferi on the internet. You can see the use now Luciferian doctrine with the eye in the triangle. This is important here. This is MI5 British intelligence logo prior to 1955. You can see not only is the letter I at the top of the pyramid, but the eye shape is at the top of the pyramid. So we can come to a conclusion here, and I'll throw this out, that if it's on your money and if it's on British intelligence logos, they literally own everything, and that is not an understatement. Mom and pop shops, fine, you can own them, but as far as major corporations and countries, they are owned and operated by this. And we can understand that Satan in the Bible has dominion on the earth now, and these are his kingdoms. When Jesus was tempted, the devil took him up and showed him all the kingdoms of the world, and told him that he would give them to Jesus if he would worship him, and Jesus did not refute that. So there is an understanding that Satan currently has the God of this world, the ruler of this world, and has dominion of this world, and therefore these kingdoms are his kingdoms currently. So we have the Information Awareness Office. This is the Department of Defense, and this organization is responsible for information, i.e. Facebook, and everything that's done on the internet. Here's George W. Bush and his grandchildren with Barbara Bush, and you can see that he plays with this Illuminati pyramid, Babylonian Egyptian pyramid, with his grandchildren. This is an acronym, Mason. You can do this with this type of star here, and then of course that is the satanic hexagram, and we'll get into that connotation. It has a meaning even on certain flags in this world. So moving forward, it is a secret organization, so this Freemason has chosen to blot his face out, secret society, but you can see the all-seeing eye, or the Eye of Horus there. This is Aleister Crowley as a Freemason, a young man. He's in Freemasonic regalia, and just wanted to show you that he is a decorated Freemason. You'll see older pictures of him later. Aleister Crowley and the Aeon of Horus. So you're seeing his connection with Horus. This happens to be the demon that he channeled and was in touch with. And I forget his name, but you can look that up on the internet. Look up Aleister Crowley and this particular demon. Looks very similar to the alien or greys that we have all come to understand and know. There is Horus with the serpent on the head and the sun. The Aeon of Horus is a heavy metal rock band, so you can see here that reference, and you can see the pyramid in the background, and of course Aeon of Horus. This is important because you can see that there's a pentagram back there, so now they are both satanic and representing Horus. This is a Freemasonic tracing board. Usually these tracing boards do not have letters on them, but you can see that the eye is referenced to Lucifer, and so that is the Eye of Lucifer. Now proving what the connection between Horus and Lucifer. This is the Lucifer rising ritual. This is Aleister Crowley's Ordo Templi Orientis logo. And we'll get into some of the details of that later. But Lucifer rising ritual. Now you see here, participants, Lucifer and Horus are synonymous. They are together, Lucifer and Horus. And you can read all about that Lucifer rising ritual if you want. Lucifer rising and the use of the Egyptian pyramid. So that connection between Horus and Lucifer is solid. And now this is a satanic emblem, a Luciferian emblem, and you can see the similarities between this eye and the Egyptian eye, making that connection. Continuing on with the Eye of Horus, or Lucifer, we begin again with Aleister Crowley. This is his famous saying, "Do what thou wilt. Under love, that shall be the whole of the law." And don't be deceived by what their version of love is. It's purely a sexual type love, into sex magic and all of that stuff. So do what thou wilt, under love. And so that is his famous saying. And this is under the life of Aleister Crowley. You can see the Baphomet image. He called himself the Beast. Also, he was known as the wickedest man in the world. So you can see Jay-Z here, "Do what thou wilt," on his hoodie. And just to let you know that that wasn't Photoshop, this is the same evening, and a guy taking a picture with Jay-Z, and you can see he's got his sunglasses off, and he is seriously drunk or stoned or on drugs or possessed, or all of the above. And you can see that was on his hoodie. This is a very famous image on the internet. Now you can see the eye in the triangle. That is exactly what that is. It's the Eye of Horus, the Eye of Lucifer. You can see that. Here's Jay-Z again. This is an HP commercial in the mid-2000s. I remember that was huge. Now you see this connection between a major corporation promoting Jay-Z and promoting this triangle. In this case, also, if you see the commercial, light emanates from this triangle, which is that illumination. In addition to that, you see this OK sign, and we'll get into that later. It's not to say, okay, this is a cool design, but I'll tell you that there's way more sinister than that. So your use of these symbols in that context. So we have Warren Buffett, hanging out with Warren Buffett and Forbes, one of the richest men in the world. And of course Jay-Z teaches him the pyramid, but he knows all about what that pyramid is, because Warren Buffett's secret management secrets, you see the use of the triangle and the eye within it. Also, you have this keyhole, and the keyhole is a reference to the key to the mystery religions, which is Luciferianism. And we'll get into that later on in the part 2. Going on with the Beatles and their cover, and you can see who the Beatles were. You saw some images of the Beatles using the Il Cornuto sign. You can see up in the corner here, it's none other than Aleister Crowley, the famous Satanist. Jay-Z now, the use of that sign, ubiquitous sign. Roca, where I believe that this particular emblem is actually 3 Vavs, which is 666. And so, but you can see that his line of clothing is Masters of the Craft, and this is in a reference to Freemasonry. You can see the handshakes here. You can see the hands and other occult symbols along with the Eye of Lucifer. There is another craft that we know of. It's called witchcraft, and there are very similar rituals in witchcraft as with Freemasonry. So you can see the compass in the square and this opposite moving up and down, and you'll see that reverse reflective symbology later. The Eye of Horus, Eye of Lucifer symbology, the double-headed eagle. We're going to get into this in Freemasonry and the understanding of where that originates. And so you see the triangle and the crown and the double-headed eagle. You can see Jay-Z with his sport coat. I believe that's Jay-Z. And then this is key. Hail Mary to the City. This is his song Empire State of Mind. Hail Mary to the City, you're a virgin and Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. Just to show you that this is one of the top ministers or artists or puppets for the industry, and he's telling you specifically that Jesus can't save you. I'm here to tell you that is a red flag to tell you that what the opposite of this is true, because this guy plants all of this symbology on you, and therefore, please, Jesus is the only one that said that he's God, and the only one that said that he can save you. Remember, he's exclusive to himself. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. If that's not true, is Jay-Z telling the truth, or is he lying? He is actually praying to the phallic symbol, which is the Empire State Building. So that is symbolic of that. He understands also what the church age is, because in Christianity there's what's called the church age, and this is from after Jesus died, the church began. And so he understands that when the church ends, he and his religion believe that they're going to have the biggest party on the planet and live eternal life in an ultimate party. And I'm going to tell you, they have a surprise waiting for them. They are literally evil to the core. So now moving on to Led Zeppelin, you can see Jimmy Page here, a disciple of Aleister Crowley. There were many disciples of Aleister Crowley, including David Bowie, and I showed you David Bowie with that lightning bolt. And you can see here the use of the Egyptian eye. Here, OTO, Ordo Templi Orientis, and his logo. There's Jimmy Page, and of course 666. And this is Anton LaVey in a variant of this triangle. I think he puts a couple fingers down to represent the eye up above, but he's this is an image on the internet. And so we can see here, this is a puppet named Tyler the Creator. And they like to give them names that refer to themselves as gods. And you can see the Eye of Horus here. Again, you can see the eyes in the back of the head. There's money or mammon, and this demonic, this represents demonic possession. And he's wearing an Aleister Crowley t-shirt. This is a down triangle. You'll see that up triangle, down triangle symbology used. And we have, again, demonic possession, down facing or down pointing crucifix. When we have the pentacle or the pentagram, this is a Jonas brother, and you can see that he wears, this is of course the Jonas brothers. They gathered the tween generation, pre-teens, and you can see here Aleister Crowley. Kanye West and Jay-Z, best friends, using that triangle. This is the trifecta of sort of hip-hop. It's really not hip-hop anymore. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's all the same thing. Kanye West, Jay-Z, and Rihanna. And you can see here also Beyonce and the clear reference to the eye in the triangle. Moving along, Jay-Z and his wife, Beyonce. You can see here Skull and Bones reference it to secret societies. We'll see that later. Now, athletes, LeBron James, who got his national championship, and then the Scientology guru, um, uh, Tom Cruise. And of course, athletes again, Kobe Bryant and his wife. Now, do not take that cross as a sign of Christianity. Here is 50 Cent, and you can see the eye in the triangle. Kanye West again, the eye in the triangle. This is Drake. I don't know who that is. Luke Fiasco, maybe. I don't think so. So anyway, you see the reference again all over the place. I think that's Lindsay Lohan. And we have one of the founders of Now, I think, or the directors. Moving along, and this is a pretty key image. We'll have this in the next section. You see the dancer with the eye in the triangle. You see the illumination around that, and you see her bending over and doing this OK sign. We'll get into that later, and it's very obvious symbolism. This is Madonna back in the day with her Illuminati triangle pyramid, and then the Nickelodeon. This is the lightning bolt. Now you can see here it's an obvious reference to Satan. And so the lightning bolt in conjunction with the eye in the triangle, the eye of Lucifer. And this is a Nickelodeon commercial around 2001. And this was the sequence of that commercial. Now, when we see people like this doing this, all it really is mass programming. They are doing the symbol. They have no clue what it is, but all you have to do is show them a dollar bill, show them those images, and they'll understand that that is the eye of Horus or the eye of Lucifer. It is a religious symbol being populated onto the planet. You know, this is the bias of religion is so amazing to me. You talk to somebody and you try to tell them about Jesus, and guess what? They say, oh, you know, what? Don't push your religion on me. Look at the pushing of religion on people in this case. They have no clue that they're being pushed into a religious symbol. In fact, you'll see at the end of this presentation that this is the magic that they practice. They practice the energy that is created through a symbol, and that is their magical practice. They're on stage and they show this symbol and everybody follows it, and the energy is what they gather from that, and that is their form of black magic. You can see this now, Obama in the background and people holding up this triangle. But look at the masses, and this is one of the images that I use for this presentation to show you the mass programming going on. Now, continuing on with the eye of Horus and Lucifer, and we can see Lady Gaga here doing the eye in the triangle. This is a variant of one of their creative ways of showing you the eye in the triangle. And we all just kind of go, hey, oh, no, that's not the eye in the triangle. Look at this image. Here's the quintessential Hollywood eye image that we all got from Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta back in the day. But I'm going to show you that they repeat this symbology, and this is in fact the eye in the triangle. Another variant of the way to do it. This is that lead singer from Paramore, just to show you that they are doing the symbols, all of the symbols at various times in this. And I believe that this is the same photo shoot. And so they're showing multiple symbols in the same photo shoot. This is another puppet, and you can see the repetition of this. And this is Katy Perry. Her movie came out in 2012. Her performance at the Grammys used occult symbolism as well. But you can see that. And you can see that peace symbol back there, Miley Cyrus. And moving on. Now look at this image. This is Michael Jackson back in the day. Now you can say, well, you know, this child doesn't know what he's doing. Just like I told you, if I raise my children up in my belief system, they raise their children up in their belief system. This is a deliberate showing of the eye in the triangle, covering the eye and then showing the eye in the triangle in the left uh, uh, version. So again, it's deliberate, and they are raised in this fashion. And whether or not they get out or not, sometimes they even die when they want to get out of this religion. So that is the reality I've come to believe. This is Paul McCartney, and you see Fergie from Black Eyed Peas, and moving along. This is mass programming. Another variant of the way to do it in fashion. Here it is, Rihanna. I don't know who all these people are. This is someone who's become popular in this 2011 and 2012. Look at this. They know what they're doing. We would be naive to believe that they don't know what they're doing. When they get to this level, they're in the club, and they are now the ministers of the religion. Alicia Keys on a magazine, another variant of that, using the in between the fingers. Here's another variant of that eye. And we'll see other variants in this whole series. Samuel L. Jackson. This is pretty key too. This is the originators of American Idol. The Bible says idols are not to be worshipped, and of course we just have these shows that idolize singers up and coming. And so you see here now the eye in the triangle, and then she's pointing at that. So it is deliberate. Of course, idol worship. Variants. It doesn't matter what genre, who you are, if you're in the spotlight, this is what you do. Annie Leibovitz, I believe she's a famous photographer. You don't even get there unless you're playing the game. Unbelievable what is happening. And now this is Korea. Just to show you that this is a global thing, and you'll see some of those images that I have. Not a lot of them, but I've spoken with people around the world that show the same thing with their local puppets in the industry. Let's look at another variant of the eye of Horus or Lucifer. And we start out again with Lady Gaga. She's just a prime example. I can't believe that she does the things she does. She is an ultimate puppet. And so they dress her up and let her do everything that symbolizes this. And she has millions and millions of fans. So we have here the lightning bolt, which is Luciferian, satanic, in the eye of Horus or Lucifer, and the covering of the eye. So that is a prime example of what they do. And you can see the repetition of this covering of a single eye. Here's Rihanna. Even their videos are riddled with symbolism now. It wasn't this way when I was growing up. I did see some old videos that I looked back and noticed the symbolism, but is now becoming much more prevalent these days. Nicki Minaj, this is Keisha, and you can see now again the band Paramore, that lead singer, and you can see here the peace sign. We'll see that later. It's not the peace sign. It's come to be known as the peace sign, but it has much more evil roots than that. You can see what they're doing. Michael Jackson, you saw him as a young man in the previous plate, and here he is older. And now he's repeating this symbolism. There's Bono. He did all of those other symbols that you saw. And here's Johnny Depp. He wears the skull. He also has a skull and bones tattoo. We'll see later. This is now Chris Brown. You saw him doing signs, and he does them all as well. Now moving along, I forget her name, but you can see them all. I don't know what these two have in common, Katy Perry and Robin, but you can see that they are both doing this. This is Willow Smith, Will Smith's daughter. You can see the star in the head and then the indoctrination of their children into this program. So, and religion. Oh, I forget her name. I know it. Everybody knows it now. But you can see here's Keisha again. And you can see that famous actress. Here's Angelina Jolie. Look at everyone is doing this. And it would be hard not to find them doing this symbology. You just have to look to see this. And you can see now variants of this. Just covering one eye, and she is a Grammy Award winner now, Adele, and there are more images of her, not a lot, but they continue on with this, and there are more that come out that they take fashion photos with. And so you can see the use of the Egyptian style eye, doing another variant. Eminem, oh, he's notorious. His lyrics are downright evil, and you can see that happening. Here is Prince, and you can see Prince 1999 and the one-eye symbolism even on his record, gold record. You can see that. Looks like fashion, but it is, finally, we can find out that it is the one-eye symbolism and the eye of Lucifer. It is becoming known now. This information is coming out. And so I believe there's a clear decision of whether or not you're going to be with this group or not. And they look so good. They are the counterfeit. World peace and all that. And I can explain that whole world peace mode, but they are warmongers. And they've done this. It's not religion that they promote war in the name of God, and they are not of God at all. Magazine covers. This was a band I used to like. Forget their name. De La Soul. Keith Richards, and he was. You saw his a keychain, which was the lightning bolt, and on his book cover of his life, now he's doing the one-eye symbolism, and you see the skull there. Athletes again. They sell their souls. Just like a musician sells their souls, athletes sell their souls for better power. Now, just to show you, there was a story of the father of rock and roll, and this is Johnson was his last name, and he was a black guitarist. He could not play at all, and the story goes is that he left and went to the crossroads, and they do have all of this crossroad terminology in rock and roll. When he went to the crossroads, he sold his soul at the crossroads to the devil, and he even sang a song about it. And then when he came back, he was playing like people were shocked and amazed at what he was doing. And so there is a reality in demonic possession being in somebody and making somebody better at what they do. And I have no doubt now that this happens even in athletics. And so we'll see maybe a little bit that later. I was going to add one of those to my ending plates. You can see that here's the Clash way back in the day. This is Ed Sheeran. Now you can see now this is global. This is Vogue Korea. And clearly Marilyn Manson and the use of this one-eye symbolism here with that distinct eye. Now you can clearly see what that is. This is Aldous Huxley, and he's the author of A Brave New World, and you can understand that that story really is the new world order, or the new Babylonian world order, which is coming to be. Daniel chapter 7 verse 43 is the description of the final kingdom that will encompass the entire world, and biblically we are close to that being established now, and I just want you to know that. Okay, continuing along with the eye of Horus or Lucifer as examples, and we begin with Men Who Stare at Goats. This movie is an absolute to me, it's a must-see with regard to the occult and what really goes on. In the beginning of the movie, you see they say that some of this stuff looks crazy, so to speak, but it's virtually all true. And the stuff that goes on there is really what is known as remote viewing, and this was being done by KGB and CIA, and they were essentially trying to see things far away, so psychic powers. But in a sense, I've come to understand that psychic powers are none other than demonic entities, and you can see that clearly. The actor here, Kevin Spacey, is one of the more evil characters in there, and you can see an example in the middle of the movie where he actually, the eyes go back in the head, and he speaks with a different voice when they're trying to do an experiment to see what's in a drawer that's hidden. And so there is a prime example and a connection between demonic possession and remote viewing. You can see here now the use of the goat and the eye of Lucifer. And of course, appropriately, men who stare at goats. And we're going to see that goat symbology and that goat terminology all in the next section in secret societies and Freemasonry. New Earth Army, this is now the New Age. You're going to see some architecture that was done in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, the new airport commission. So all of this New Age, New World stuff coming. The Dr. Parnassus, the Imaginarium, and you can see the use of that eye there. This is a Korean poster. This movie was Heath Ledger, and Heath Ledger actually died, I believe, during this movie, and it's very prophetic that he was actually killed in the movie itself. You can see the eye of Lucifer on the forehead, and of course the square and compass of Freemasonry in this movie. All of the symbols, if you really look, you can find them. I don't watch a movie anymore the same way that I used to at all. It's not purely entertainment anymore. Now we have Mystery Men and this use of the eye, and you can see it's really everywhere. Aeon Flux, there's the eye. If you really look and you can't see it everywhere, you'll begin to notice these being used everywhere. And that's really with all the symbols. You'll go out in the streets and you'll say, oh, I don't see anything, but if you really look at this and you understand what the symbols are, then you'll begin to notice them. And this is a cumulative effect. It's a lifelong effect for us. We don't know what they are, but we go through life with these sound bites and these visual bites of images. And here we are, come to this point not to believe in their religion, but we're lost in that sense. So look at this. This is an actual NASA mission and the use of this symbology, and it's a variant. It's a triangle with the light emanating at the top of it. But there are patches, and you can see the obvious symbolism between that poster and the pyramid with eye on top, and that illumination, and another poster from the same mission. This also looks like a bird's eye, which is an eye of Horus. So you have that regular eye and the eye of Horus style, but it's more realized, realistically done. It's amazing what they do. On money, you can see the use of that eye on money, and of course our dollar bill is the most used currency in the world. And then the croonie banknote, there's the eye. Clockwork Orange, you can see now this sort of A, or this upside down V shape with the eye there. That's Stanley Kubrick. All of their directors, they direct the movies. Their architects do the architecture. Their writers do the writing. Believe me, I've completely given up on being a famous architect because I would lose my soul over it. And that was one of my goals, to be that, and it's no longer a goal. The Lord, to me, is has brought me into this, and I would have lost my soul and sold my soul out to be in this club if I really had that ambition to do that. This is a movie, Being There, with Peter Sellers, and again, movies, Hypnotism and the Beatles. Communism, Hypnotism, and the Beatles. You see this pyramid with the eye on top, and the pyramid facing down as well. So you'll see this up, down, as above, so below. and more ads. This is MTV Australia. Album covers. Ministry. This is Drake. So you saw him doing the pyramid. All-seeing eye, my eyes seen it all, meaning that he's doing it not only in his hand symbols, but he's doing it in his lyrics. Nicki Minaj. And you can see the prevalence of that tattoo. This is famous actress. Oh gosh, I forgot her name, but look at this. The serpent coming down with the all-seeing eye, or eye of Lucifer. This is a new rapper, pretty new, Wiz Khalifa. And yeah, they come and go. But once they get there, they are always ministers. 20 years later, Wiz Khalifa is going to come out in the Super Bowl, just like Madonna did at 50. So I'm just telling you, if you're young and you think, oh, he's not in anymore, believe me, they're in for life. Iron Maiden, and that's his obvious Eye of Horus symbolism and about who they are. Here we have an advertisement, and you can see DNA alchemy. We'll get into a little bit of alchemy later. Some people think this is old science, but this really has to do with elements and this occult fascination with the created rather than the creator. We have the Eye of Horus. You can see the Egyptian style eye, and of course they use the eye in the triangle, which is the Eye of Lucifer. And of course this is New Age stuff, a divine blueprint telling you that you have an incarnation, an essence before your incarnation. That's reincarnation. You have this thought of being enlightened, and this is the occult, satanic, Luciferian idea. And again, moving along with this eye in the triangle, this is video games, Office of Naval Intelligence, used in video games. So your children are being programmed into this on their video games. You don't even know it. You just want your children to go and play the video game so they can be out of your way. They spend hours on these video games. Some children are completely obsessed with it, and their personalities even change. I've seen a child wearing clothes that mimicked a character in a video game. It's that scary. Self-actualization. This is a Grand Theft Auto, I believe, which is a very popular video game. Logos. This is an insult to us. This is the Eye of Horus, the Egyptian style eye, and this is the Spiral of Archimedes. The Spiral of Archimedes is used in hypnotism. So Time Warner Cable and that whole cable thing is an insult to you and the mesmerizing of you watching television. It's their media. Believe me, they put so much subliminal stuff in there that you'd have to understand the level of programming going on. America Online, still around. Acura, you can see that this is the pyramid with the light emanating from the top in the negative graphic. And then Fidelity. Delta is simply, they changed their logo, but it's simply the top or the capstone of the pyramid in 3 dimensions. Now moving on with Arthur, and this particular character is into this symbolism, so you get exposed to that at an early age. This is the Family Guy, a completely vulgar, anti-Christian, completely, I don't even, this is garbage. And so you see the all-seeing eye, the Eye of Lucifer. Starbucks here at a coffee shop. I took that image. And then you have fashion shoots again. And continuing on, this is the Kardashians. That's Bruce Jenner, and in the TV show itself you can see the use of the symbolism. We'll see Kim Kardashian and her dualism. She loves black and white, skull and bones and all of that. And this is key because now you have the third eye reference to the Eye of Lucifer as well. You can buy these products. Crop circles. This is Ruka, a very popular, if not the most popular one of the most popular surf brands anyway. This is called the Masonic Owl, and you see the owl there. We'll see the owl symbolism. They love the owl because an owl sees at night exactly what they like to operate in. which is night and darkness. And so you see the eye of Lucifer, and this V and A represent the square and compass, and we'll go over that in the last section case study. This is 2012 Super Bowl, and the eye. This eye appears, I believe, right before world peace does, and so you can see the campaign of world peace, this cry for world peace. Oh, it's so noble, but I'm telling you, there is a destructive nature to this order out of chaos. They love war to bring in peace, and that's what they're setting up for now. Moving along, again with Eye of Lucifer symbology. Now we can understand this image completely. Marilyn Manson and the use of this distinction of the eye in this contact lens. It is the Eye of Lucifer. This now variance, and so we can understand, here's Lady Gaga, the use of this one eye symbolism in just covering the eye, all of this symbology, one eyes, and now here is a variant on that one eye symbolism in costumes and the decoration of that eye. Here we have Beyonce, this is Madonna, Beyonce here, and this is another reference. Now this is a butterfly, and it's called the monarch butterfly, and it's what it's called monarch programming, and this has to do with satanic ritual abuse. And I don't want to freak you out now, but there is a programming of even these actors and actresses and other people in the world that is suspect, and it stems from projects in Nazi Germany, one called Project Paperclip, and the other is MK Ultra, and then we have this idea of monarch programming, and that has to reference to the monarch butterfly. I don't get into that too much, but there's a reference to that and an understanding that toward the end of part 2. Again, variants on covering the eye, the decoration of one eye, covering of one eye with just the hair. We can understand now this. Here is a diamond-shaped piece of jewelry, and she's putting this triangle in the eye. And this is Jordine Sparks. She was an American Idol, I believe. And here's Adele. This is Teen Vogue, and the covering of the eye, one eye symbolism. Now just blinking the eye, when it's on a magazine cover, it's suspecting. I suspect it immediately, and this is just a variant of one eye symbolism. This is Wiz Khalifa. This is Drake doing the same thing on a magazine cover. Now in rap, you have another variant of the triangle being used, doing the same thing. Are they brothers? Are they really promoting the religion in their own fashion? And they're doing it uniformly across the board. Here's Tupac. He was murdered, and I believe it is my belief that Tupac wanted to be out of this whole Illuminati thing, and therefore they killed him. So when you're in the club, it is be in the club, and if you want out, you die. It's like mafia stuff, and we're going to see this reference to the way that the mafia works and secret societies work and where it stems from later. So this is a Snoop Doggy Dogg video, and this is Satan, a representation of Satan, and Satan does this pyramid sign, and you can see that reference there. So they are promoting both Satan does this sign and that pyramid sign. Reverend Al Sharpton, he's not a reverend, he's hanging out partying with Christina Aguilera, and they're doing the triangle. Any which way that you can do the symbol is the way that they want to indoctrinate you, program you into their religion. Bono again, and covering the eye, and this peace symbol, which is actually a sign of the benediction. We'll get into that in a couple more sections after this. And he's very well knighted, papal knighthoods that he has, and very active on the global scene to bring in this new world order. You can see the all-seeing eye, the eye of Lucifer, with the pentagram within the eye and that tattoo. This is Chris Angel, the magician, and he works at the Luxor, so yes, he likes to do the pyramid. And of course his friend that he's with, he has the, looks like the compass, and the instead of a square, it's a razor. Wearing a cross. Oh, they love to wear crosses. It's all it is decoration. And so he also wears the pyramid with eye. Okay, I wanted to show you this. This is Bruno Mars, and he's was locally grown here where I live in Hawaii. And I took this image off of Palladia. This is a video, and it's called a lazy song. Before the video actually begins, he adjusts the camera, and he makes this pyramid sign with his hands in adjusting the camera. So in a sense, you're looking through this triangular eye. And the video is about being lazy, and it's about teen masturbation and sex. And I'm going to tell you, these guys are all about that genre and this fascination with all of this stuff, including pornography and sex and all of that stuff. So you have here a variance, again, variance of the Eye of Lucifer and Ozzy Osbourne, and 3 versions of that. See that he covers one side of that eye, and of course he's got the crucifix there. Believe me, it's not Christian. And when here's Lionel Richie. Moving on, these are models, and so you can see the indoctrination that they have. They are children that are grown up this way, and so they do this as signs of allegiance. This is Asian. I believe that's an Asian magazine. Here, I believe this is Tori Amos. I could be completely wrong, but Tori Amos, that artist, even the lyrics, she has Lucifer in the lyrics, and a song, and I believe entitled that way. And then this is a reference to the forbidden fruit in the Bible. It's not it doesn't say that it was an apple, but the apple is that favorite fruit to represent that forbidden fruit. So you have this dual symbology reference of the forbidden fruit and the covering of that eye with Lucifer here. I just want you to understand, in context with these key images, you can see what it references. And Daft Punk, that band I used to like, and here's their ad for their concert. This is their album cover called Alive, and you can see the pyramid with capstone. And here's that concert itself. And again, doing the same thing that Jay-Z made popular, which is that pyramid sign. This is across the board genre. Artists are supposed to not be copying each other, but we're coming to an age where everything is being now globalized. And so the world is coming together. That Daniel kingdom of chapter 7, 43 is that last kingdom. And all of this is moving toward that one world government. Sounds great from a non-Christian perspective or non-believer's perspective. Sounds great. But I'm going to tell you that's the trap. And we got to understand and seek what it is that they want. And really this order out of chaos, what's happening now. They perpetrate all these wars in the name of God. I told you this, and I want you to recognize this as we go along in this. That it really isn't about saving the planet, it's about saving your soul and making that decision, and that God is going to clean this whole place up. So he's going to be the one that saves Earth and restores it. So I know it sounds fantastic. Please bear with me here. This is 2008, the Grammy, not Grammy, but MTV Awards. There's Rihanna in the pyramid. And that pyramid. Glastonbury is a very ancient pagan site in England, and you can see the stage. This one actually collapsed and killed people. There was news about that. Glastonbury and the use of the triangle. Muse is a band that is popular. We're going to have a case study of that in part 2. They actually did the theme song for the 2012 Olympics. This is G12 2012 Summit, G20 2012 Mexico, and you can see the Mayan pyramid motif in plan and the golden uncapped pyramid. Moving along, Gary Newman, a little bit more before my generation, early in my generation. The pleasure principle, of course, the dual symbology of the eye being shown on one side, white and black, dual symbolism, and the pyramid. Earth, Wind, and Fire, all about Egypt and the occult, and they have their albums are riddled with all of that. Great songs, yeah, they don't look satanic at all, but when you understand the reference between Egypt and Luciferianism, you can understand what they are. It's not just pitchforks and guys in red suits, heavy metal stuff. Asia, a band my sister used to listen to, and you can see this sea dragon and the pyramid. Def Leppard, my generation, and the pyramid with the eye. Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon, I think that is the album cover. Charisse, and this is a popular puppet now. I don't like to call them artists again. And the Pyramids, and she does a lot more symbolism than just that. This is a movie called Coraline. Coraline is an animation. When she puts this eyepiece, triangular eyepiece, in her eye, she sees everything and sees the spirit world. And so this is a clear reference to that eye being an eye of illumination, and it is a satanic eye of illumination. Cartoons. Here's Sarah Palin on a magazine cover. You can see the reference to pyramids and this one eye symbolism. Now, if you don't think that this particular piece is the pyramid with a capstone, there is a commercial on the internet that shows you that that's the case, that they build this pyramid and at the end it tilts into position. They own everything. They own your history. They only tell you what they want you to hear. They do expose some secret societies to a certain extent, but they don't. They leave you guessing at the end and deceive you into understanding that is pure Luciferian doctrine within those secret societies.